We are currently live on a Google Hangout. I am Nevin Jenkins, a tech integration specialist at Warrensville Heights City Schools, and I am here today with, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Thad Haines. I'm the assistant principal at Jackson High School. We are located in southeast Ohio, about 90 miles straight south of Columbus. And this is going into my 6th year as assistant principal here at Jackson High School, and I've been in education since 1995.
We're here today talking about Google Docs and what kind of things it can do for you, especially for administrators who were just trying to keep on board with the power of this thing. So a few questions that we asked ahead of time was, as an administrator, how you use Google Docs.
One of the big ways I use Google Docs is to share out information and collect information from our staff. Use it for collaboration with data. And those are really kind of the 3 big things that we do with it. One of the first things I did when I started this was I used it to collect a textbook inventory. At the end of the year, I have to inventory all of our textbooks. I have to know how many we have on hand, that way if we're short, that kind of thing, know what teacher's classroom they're in. So I create a form, and Google Forms are one of the handiest, simplest things to use. Collect any kind of information that you need. You can also, we have teachers that use it to create tests, and tests that can be graded by the spreadsheet itself. So create a form to collect information, and now all the information collected goes right into a spreadsheet. So the first one I did was a simple textbook inventory. Teacher picks their what department they're with, what the name of their textbook is, put their ISBN numbers in, how many they have on hand, and I have in a matter of, probably takes the teacher 5 minutes to do it. If that, I have an entire spreadsheet already built. I don't have to enter anything else in. It's right there for me to access whenever I need to have access to it. We use it to do our quarterly assessments. This is a screenshot of a practice OGT that we gave to kind of see how our freshman students would do on the real thing. I've whited out our student names, but we indicate, if it's a student that has a disability, if it is a student that's economically disadvantaged, which are the big AYP marks that we have to hit. It's been a focus through school improvement for our district or for our building, and we code them as green, yellow, red, and that's conditional formatting within a spreadsheet. If you're familiar with Excel, works very similar. So we kind of gives us a chance to focus on students that are at highest risk or that may need the most remediation. So
Here again, we lost connection. I like what you're doing there. I like your hat.
I don't know how that got on there. Let me get rid of that. Effects is in yellow. That means they're at risk. We think they're at a higher risk for not meeting a minimum score on the OGT. If they're in red, it means they need more remediation. So we take that data and we use that to develop pull-out intervention and remediation for the students that need it. And it also gives the teachers a chance to see how the students in their classroom have done, see if they may need some extra work within the class for that. That right here was just an example of a shared folder that I have. We have a shared folder with all of our staff that has your kind of opening day informational type things. We had different types we shared a document that it was a presentation that had different types of formative assessment they may use in their classroom for simple things like the teacher lunch schedule, duty schedules, when we're having our semester and final exams, supervision assignments, different procedures the districts once followed in terms of POs, mileage reimbursement, those kind of things. Right. Upload a PDF with our handbook. We also have up here, it says SWD case management list. For our students with disabilities, each of them has a teacher that writes their IEP that also is their go-to contact throughout the year, and that's just a list we share out with our staff so that if a student's struggling in the class, they know who to go to that has the greatest knowledge of the student. Using the form to create a test, you can also use it to take a survey. again, one of the big things is there are products out there like SurveyMonkey and other web-based tools that allow you to do a survey, but this is a free survey. You can send a link out. You can make it a link that's only within your district, or you can make it a link outside of your district. What we did is with our students, we had a tech survey. We wanted to see what kind of devices they were using, how much they were using the internet, did they have internet access at home, what types of behaviors they had. So we used the form to collect the information, puts it into a spreadsheet, and with one click, it gives you a summary of the responses, such as one of the questions was, I have a computer at my home, you know, and it gave you a response of they did, they didn't, everyone has it, personal and different things. I have internet access at home, yes, no, we were right at in the high 80s for internet access at home, which we felt was good, but it gave us data that we could kind of make some decisions about going forward with BYOD policies, those kind of things.
What do you think administrators can do day one? Like if they want to say, let's try something. What should we do together to see how effective it is?
I would say one real easy thing that they could do, people have staff meetings. We have weekly staff meetings. One of the things you can do instead of going to the staff meeting, pass down a paper agenda, going down the items on the agenda, some of which are usually informational. You can create a Google Doc. You can share it with your staff. You could answer questions about some of the procedural things, or you could, you know, it would be an opportunity for teachers to see it, write in questions or make comments, hey, we need this, or maybe there was something else that came up that needs to be discussed. So it's a way to get teachers information, and it's also a way to move past the informational portion of a teacher's meeting so you can get into the deeper meaning kind of things.
What are teachers trying with Google Docs, and what does that mean to you as an administrator?
To me, we've seen some really powerful things with it. One of the things our teachers are doing, they're starting to go paperless. So obviously that's a cost savings, but it also allows them to easily share student work with me. One of the big pushes I try to make with our teachers is our students need to become the content creators. Instead of them consuming things, they need to be making things. One of our math teachers, for example, has started, initially he started doing video tutorials. This is how you work these problems out. This is how this concept works. And he was posting them on Edmodo. He has since started creating just shared folders so that all the students in his class can access these folders that had information about different topics, and he organizes them by topic. And now he's also started to switch that up even more where the students are the ones creating the videos, doing the explanation. To me, I think that's the much more powerful point that we need to get to just as educators, is having the students be the makers, students creating the content. So it gives me a quick opportunity. If I'm not able to get out to the classroom, I can see what's going on in that classroom. Students are uploading their homework. He grades it in there. We have another teacher that we were fortunate enough to get a classroom set of Chromebooks. So he is pretty much all paperless using Chromebooks, and he shares. He is, and it's part of the piece, so I can kind of see what they're doing, see different ways. He shares pretty much everything they do in his classroom. He uses forms to do his exams, which, since we're moving towards online exams, having kids take just their regular classroom exams through a Google form gives them experience with that, puts it into a spreadsheet, and there's a script. It's a easy plug-in if you have Google Apps Free to You called Flubaroo. It grades the test or the quiz for you. It gives
you really?
Makes it a lot quicker, a lot easier. Obviously it's not going to grade the extended response, short answer type questions, but the multiple choice section, it's graded, it's done super quick, and there's even a way to import it into, you can import that Excel information into like Progress Book or whatever possibly whatever student management system you use. So that's been a huge time saving.
I'll definitely try that out.
Yeah.
What kind of computer access do your kids usually have, like in order to go kind of paperless?
Right now we have kids. We have a whole variety of things. We're not one-to-one with anything. We're rolling BYOD out on a classroom-by-classroom basis. Right now our policy is if the teacher would like to use it for educational purposes, their students are going to be able to use their electronic device in class. just the other day, I had a student come into my office, and she said, "Hey, I've been having trouble getting on the Google Drive app." She has an Android phone. It's not even a newer model Android phone, but she has the Google Drive app. I helped her troubleshoot it. She puts her school email address in, logs in, boom, right there's all of her documents accessible on her phone. So
wow.
She literally has access to her schoolwork no matter where she's at. If this is a kid that's playing sports, they're sitting in the stands at the basketball game. They can be working on their English paper right from the stands on their phone, on their smartphone. So it kind of gets you out of, I have to be at a PC, I have to be in a computer lab, I have to be at home, access to their information. So, to me, that's starting to stretch things outside of the school day, which you're going to start to see more impact with our students whenever you get those kind of tools in place.
Any other final thoughts before I start playing with your head here?
Okay. I think one of the things we've talked about, one of the things you and I have talked about is like the use of Twitter for education. I would tell, and we actually started this conversation this morning on Twitter when you hit me up, would I have a chance to do this today? And I'm like, sure, it would be awesome. I think if an educator's not on Twitter, then they're doing themselves a disservice. I'm not saying you have to be on Twitter to be a great educator, but it helps you connect with people outside of your small circle. It helps expand your horizons, can help you find new resources, new ideas, but it also just gives you supports. I know a very well-renowned principal who he's told me, he said, look, if it wasn't for Twitter, if it wasn't for the connections I made on Twitter, then I probably would have gotten out of education. For me, not to that extent, but it has been a huge support for me of seeing good things that people are doing, getting ideas myself, staying motivated, to try new things and step outside of, kind of my own background. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today.
Not a problem, Nevin.
And,
anytime.
Yeah, we'll definitely try to connect soon again, and I'll give them your Twitter handle. So once they sign on to Twitter and they're doing some stuff, I'll show them how to connect to you.
Sounds great. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks, Nevin. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. You too.